Grace and peace.
Grace and peace.
I'm Susan.
I'm Frank.
And together we're Team Adkins. We're bringing you Word of Mouth Wednesdays with New Life Fellowship. Today's word will be coming from John chapter 15, verses 14 through 17. This is a continuation of our studies of the chapter of John 15. It reads as following. You are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. For everything that I learned from my Father, I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you may go and bear fruit that will last. And so whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you. This is my command. Love each other.
So tonight, for our Word of Mouth Wednesday, can we begin by going verse by verse?
Sure.
All right. Verse 14.
Verse 14 says, you are my friends if you do what I command. That speaks of the true friendship with Jesus. And it's showing that it's also relational and reverent. He invites us close, but not on our terms. Obedience is a part of that relationship. And it's not about earning his love. It's about living in alignment with his love.
So our alignment in Christ allow us to be horizontal,
Horizontal.
And so in our horizontal living with Christ, that means we are to stand in his shadows, or stand alongside of him, stand in front of him.
Alongside him, follow him, stand in his word, walk in his word, walk and imitate him, because what we're striving to do is to be like him. We know we're not him, but our goal is to be like him.
So that's a good point, that our goal is to be like him, because how else can we know who he is if we don't spend time with him?
Exactly.
Build a relationship, correct?
Correct.
So in our relationship building, that means we have to spend a lot of time before him.
Yes, we do.
Time talking to him, time to listen to him.
Yes.
So also meditating on his word.
Exactly. That's what he wants us to do. He wants us to communicate with him, and we do that through our prayer. He wants us to read his word, because he wants his word written upon our hearts. He wants his word to abide in us, and he wants us to abide in his word.
Okay. Verse 15.
Verse 15, it says, I no longer call you servants. Instead, I have called you friends. And this is a powerful shift from servant to friend.
How is that?
A servant does what he's told, often without understanding the full picture. A friend is brought into the inner circle, given access to the heart and purposes of the master.
So upon giving access to the heart and purpose of the master, his friend, in relationship, that means he or she has the opportunity to build upon that friendship.
Yes.
Where they can become a friend, like Jesus said in his word, a friend that sticks closer than a brother.
Yes, because he said, I have everything that he's learned from his Father, he's made known to you. And what that means is that's the divine truth being revealed to the disciples. No secrets being withheld. So he's calling us to walk in intimate friendship with him. I mean, if we go all the way back to Genesis, before Adam and Eve sinned, God would come and visit them in the cool of the day. So that spoke of a friendship, an intimate friendship where he visited them.
Yeah, most friends visit each other.
Yes.
To have a time well spent with each other.
Exactly. To
partake of everything that they learned.
Conversation, love on each other, reveal some things. That was an intimate friendship.
All right. Is there anything else you will pull out that verse before we go to the next verse?
I think.
All right. Well, let's move to the next verse then.
Okay. Verse 16 said, "You did not choose me,
Oh, let's pause there. Can we pause there? You didn't choose me. You didn't choose me, right?
Right.
So the words is saying that God, in this case, Jesus does all the choosing.
Yeah, he said, I chose you.
But I chose you. And,
yes.
and
appointed you.
Appointed you.
Yes.
Which means I also gave you, if you go to Genesis, I gave you authority over the land, the sea, the fish, the air, the substance of which he is built upon.
Exactly.
And not gave you authority over other people.
Right.
Because that's what we usually fall short of. We try to be over people instead of over the things that he built, which is the substance.
Yes.
Any more notes in that verse that you extract?
We have to also, you brought it out because he calls us and he appoints us with a purpose. So even back in Genesis, when he made Adam and he gave Adam dominion, he gave him a purpose. His purpose was to oversee everything that he had brought into fruition.
So just like many of us, when we don't know our purpose, we should go to him and spend time with him to learn of our purpose as a good student who is also a friend to the one who was given instruction and the one who has called and appointed you for a reason and a season, right?
Yes, because we were all created with a purpose.
So we don't have to wait for man to give us a purpose. No. God has a purpose that's greater than what man has.
God has a purpose for us. As he said to Jeremiah, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. That is a profound statement there. He said, I sanctified you and set you apart, meaning before I even knitted you together, I knew you.
That's intimate, right?
That's intimate. You know, we was kicking it before I had to bring you down to, let you come to the earth.
Just like
we had a relationship.
So you're saying just like the Father and Son had a relationship before he allowed Jesus to come and dwell among us in flesh?
Yes.
That he knew that he would be here, but he also gave him the ability to be equipped to be that friend?
Yes, because he set him apart. All right. He sanctified and set him apart, meaning he was ordained.
All right. The next verse.
Verse 17.
Excuse me.
This is my command. Love each other.
Love each other?
Yes.
That's a command?
That's a command.
It's not an option?
It's not an option.
Oh, well, how do we do that?
Jesus is bringing it full circle. He said the friendship, the obedience, the fruit, it should all be rooted in love. It's not emotional love, but sacrifice, Christ-like love, the agape love, the love that God gives us, the love that God has for us. Because even with all of our shortcomings, even with all of every time we've messed up, I mean, just think about it. Adam and Eve messed up. He put them out the Garden of Eden. They was fruitful and they multiplied the earth. They was sinning, doing everything. But God still loved us.
Yeah, because his love was unconditional.
Unconditional. And he had a plan to reconcile us back to him. Right.
Because he gave them dominion and authority that they lived out so that the rest of us can be here today.
Yes.
Because he could have chose to start over.
He could, yes, he could have.
But he loved us so much that he decided to let us stay the course.
I mean, even when he wiped out the population, he kept Noah and his family.
Kept enough to keep
to keep the earth going, to keep everything going, and the population rekindled from them, and he was still showing his love. He was still showing grace. He was still showing mercy upon us because we are his creation, and he loves us. He loves us unconditionally. Even when we're not faithful, he's faithful.
So that's a great friend, isn't it?
Yes, that is. That's an awesome friend.
Well,
it doesn't get any better than that. And everything flows from love, unity, mission, growth, witness. At the heart of every command, every calling, every act of obedience is love. That's the fruit Jesus desires most.
So we are here to share that we want to encourage people to understand what a real friendship is.
Yes.
Because real friends don't let you hurt yourself. Real friends don't let you fall in the gutter and stay in the gutter. Real friends don't let you walk out to danger and not give you the ability to know that there's danger or hidden danger in front of you. Because the Bible says that he has the ability to make sure that you know that there's nothing that's beyond that will stop you from falling to temptation. There's always a way out for you that God has for you.
Yeah.
Because a friend is willing to pull you up by your bootstraps and stop you from going too far.
Yes.
All right. Is there anything you'd like to close with?
For closing, I want to pose this question. And it's something that I hope that everyone who's listening will think about this question deeply. And I'm hoping that you can answer this question. What does it mean to be a friend of Jesus? How does that challenge or encourage you?
So that's an individual question, correct?
That's an individual question.
Only you can answer that,
right? Only you can answer that.
Because what our response will be may not be their response.
Exactly.
So as a disciple, a learner of Jesus, we all should be able to, at one point, at some point in time, we should be able to answer that question. And it should come from our heart, not haphazardly answering the question just to answer it. No, dig deep to understand
to understand what this question truly means, and see if you can truly answer that from your heart, knowing that Jesus came, walked among the earth. He walked among us for 33 years, laid down his life. He was the sacrificial lamb so that we may be reconciled to the Father. All who believe that he was here, that he was crucified, and that God the Father raised him from the dead, and that now he is seated beside him in heaven. All of us who believe, we can go to the Father now through Jesus.
So we'd like to invite you to take a moment to consider that question.
Yes.
That two-part question, and also consider what is your idea of a real friend, a true friend.
A true friend.
And build up that relationship. And if you don't have a response now, we ask that you pray about it, talk to the Father, so that God can give you an answer to those things that concerns you, because he cares about you.
Yes, he does.
We'd like to thank you for tuning in this week to Word 'em Up Wednesday.
Thank you.
We look forward to spending more time with you. Be blessed.